Hello, thanks for joining me, Nancy with North Star Ministry. So, it is a beautiful day today, by the way. Oh, I count my blessings because every day is a wonderful day. I never speak negativity over my life, never have, my entire life. See, because I have always known that my light had triggered a lot of people throughout my whole life. It's just been my life. And so, I'm kind of immune to it. I'm utterly detached from people who don't appreciate, there's been a time when I kind of allowed all of that, but, now at this particular time, the Lord pulled me aside and said, you can't do that anymore. You represent me. So, okay. So anyway, I'm my true, authentic, ancient, original self. And unapologetically, I put myself out there. And as a final prophetic witness during this time, and I recently uploaded something about truth, the truth about truth, a video that I put on my YouTube channel. But I want to elaborate a little bit more about it because there's been some information that has come to light. I've already exposed things, I've been kind of putting things out there as they come about, but there has been a whole group of people who conspired against me. But the main perpetrator behind all of it was a person, and in particular, an owner of a company, an aerospace distributor that I used to work for years and years ago, who absolutely began leeching off of my energy signature. I had no idea. And I don't know if while I was working there, he was a Mason or caught up in that cult scene. I have no idea. I was busy doing my job, so I have no idea. We never dated. And but this person had created such an elaborate, false, filthy narrative on my life because he had been targeting me. He thought I was an easy target, been leeching off of my energy like a parasite. But, and I had no idea back then that that's what this whole Masonic secret society, that's what they do. They're energy harvesters. But anyway, long story short, I've shared my story numerous times, but recently this individual got called out on all of his dishonesty, all of the fraud. He hacked all my computer, but he also stole my identity, right? When I worked there, I divulged my personal information in good faith. That's what you do when you start working with people, they on the application or whatever it was, but he had that information. And he took it and used it to, in a lot of insidious ways, to create a lot of wealth for himself off of my energy signature. See, there are people that knew things about me that I didn't even know. But now I do. I am fully aware. This man had got in trouble and took a personal, waged war on my life, I guess you could say. He got caught lying and scheming and frauding, not just me, but a whole lot of other people as well. He worked with a whole group of people, and everybody had their role to play, and they all got paid a slice of the pie. They went after people who had trust funds, people that had certain light God energy signatures, because these Masons, they have learned. They're the remnant of the fallen watchers, the remnant of the giants. That same bloodline. They had discovered all this ancient knowledge of how to manipulate people's wills, and using ancient sorcery practices, incantations and rituals, humiliation spells, and all kinds of black magic. They learned how to read your birth charts and study the moon phases and know exactly when to do what. And they had and how to steal your energy and how to use it, steal your gifts. If you had spiritual gifts, if you're a happy person with joy and with peace and with tranquility and serenity, and you are blessed in life, well, they would go in and harvest that for themselves. If you're an energetic person and you had opportunities in your coming up as part of your birthright and blessings from God, these people would go in there and they would find out, and they would manipulate the system to clone you and to steal what was meant for you in life. Okay, see how that works? That's what they have been doing to many, many people. Then taking out life insurance policies and unaliving people so that they could cash out. They had been doing this, all right? So it all came out because I put everything out there. I'm a light bearer on the planet. It's my frequency. I'm here as a presence, you know, to make an impact. And I have a soul mission, and that is my soul, part of my mantle that God had appointed me at this particular time. So I exposed this because I'm everybody's mirror. Okay, that's just my job, my assignment that God had assigned to me at this particular time. So long story short, these people all got discovered and outed and busted for the fraud, because it was rampant. It was a whole network of people. I mean, they had an insurance agent, they had all these Masons. They swear allegiance to one another. So they all worked together, having each other's back. So there was a female judge that he had been having this fling with, apparently. They worked together and had a deal. She was sitting on the bench, deemed me mentally incompetent at some point, and a no-show, knowing full well that this man had paid somebody, a court clerk, to divert my mail so he would receive the checks to my trust fund, what was meant for me. Okay, so they did all that, and it got discovered and outed, okay, very dishonest people. I mean, they had like a person at the morgue who would work on cremating those bodies, so there would be no way of ever knowing. I mean, stuff like that. They got into your home using the Patriot Act for little or no justifiable reason at all, just based on lies that they would present to the judge, who was also a Mason. Okay, see how that works? So then they would get the court order to go into your home when you're not there and put cameras so they can monitor your every move, because their real motive was to steal your trust fund, steal your identity, your spiritual gifts, your blessings from God, all that was in line for you to inherit, my spiritual inheritance, but not just money and not just my birthright, I mean, in that sense, but my spiritual identity. Now, I'm one of God's chosen, anointed, elect. And you don't do that. There are spiritual and cosmic laws, universal laws, that you don't ever cross like that. See, they don't take bribes in heaven, as I've said before. The spiritual court above. Our courts down here below are fashioned and modeled after the spiritual courts above. And my energy signature, my identity, which is it's an ancient, holy identity, is spiritually and divinely encrypted and protected. No one has my frequency. Okay, God had placed a certain thing in me for that purpose, and that's why I've been so heavily attacked. And I shift atmospheres wherever I go. All right, I'm God's walking mirror. All right, this is the time that we're in right now, this judgment day. So it's a day of reckoning for a lot of people that have been dealing corruptly. All right, because that time is over. But what this man did when he got caught, he waged all war on me, and hired many people to do round-the-clock spell work on my finances, to bind my finances. We're even working with bank. You know, there's a trust fund in my name at a bank somewhere that belongs to me, and not one person has ever stepped forward to tell me where this trust fund is. Where is this bank account? What bank is it? It's under my name. But people have changed it, maybe switched it out to their social security number so they could access it. I don't know where this is, and I do not have the money or the finances or the resources, because this man made sure I would not, to stand up for myself, to defend myself, to get to the bottom of all of these things, and to locate where this trust fund is. And this money is holding up all kinds of spiritual assignments that the Lord had for me to do at this particular time. One of the first and foremost things is to get my vehicle maintained. I have some situations with my vehicle. This has to be in good running order, and these people have done the most, okay? Whether when I would apply at places, they would get right in there, make sure that I would not be considered for that position. Any opportunities, high-ranking opportunities, and I'm talking about influential opportunities that should have come to me. There were copycats emulating my soul fragments, my soul essence. They monitored my every move. I was so heavily stalked for years. They recorded my emotional signature, all of the personal, my routines, the things that I like, the things that where I'm vulnerable, all of those areas. They monitored, tracked. They had handlers in the community that took logs and recorded things, and they kept track of everything that I did. So because this person plotted and strategized very carefully over years, okay, and he worked with months with this woman, this judge that deemed me mentally incompetent. I believe she was a Hispanic judge from the Stanley Moss Courthouse. I don't know her name. She was relieved of her position because of the fraud that took place. I think this investigation led to a lot of people being called out on all of their fraud. Okay, there was a real estate agent, there was a tax lawyer that said that I had called him to do my taxes. That never happened. There was a doctor that manipulated and altered my medical record, saying that I was in therapy, and he probably showed up with a woman that maybe spazzed out in front of the judge. I don't know. But whatever they did, they all worked together, collaborated, and they were all found guilty of the crimes they committed. And there was a judge that went along with it. He was bullied. They did spell work on all the people at the judiciary to make things go their way. But the truth came out, because truth prevails. All right, it's just a matter of time. Truth always comes out. And these people were called out on all of their fraud. Now, there are family members involved and relatives as well that had part to play in this. They discredited me. By discrediting me, they tried to convince the judge that I was not capable of handling my own finances. And that is not true. I've just been swimming up a current that these people created in my life, okay? These people did that to me. Over years, they've been attacking me and also trying to make me go blind so I wouldn't be able to drive. These people did the most, okay? Doing spell work on my eyes and voodoo on my heart to try to make me keel over and die. These people did the most. Energy weapons. This man hired a group of retired veterans that specialize in giving people a hard time. They have the skill sets. They have used to be someone in the NSA, but now I believe it's an independent group of retired veterans that use their skill sets to come after people for pay. And they do energy weapons, and they mess with your brain, your mental faculties, try to give you Alzheimer's, and they work for the elites, okay? They try to give you aneurysms in your brain, migraine headaches. They try to disturb your immune system. They play with your nervous system. They're poking and probing all the time and trying to wipe your memory clean so that you will not be able to get your justice. That's what they're about, okay? And they do it all for pay. That's what this man had hired, the CEO at this aerospace distributor company, who came after me big time because I rejected his ass. I cut the cords when I discovered that he was leeching off my energy and attacking my children. What these people celebrate is when they are successful at manipulating the wills of another person. When they get you, and that's what these shooters are all about. You know, if you see these shooters that go out to schools and they open fire, they're issued commands. They're under MK Ultra mind control. That's what these people are all about. They use that for their agendas, to divert attention for whatever the situation. In this case, this man did not want me to remember all the evil that he did against me. And I'm divinely protected, so I know everything. I receive channeled messages and downloads from Almighty God and the angelic realm above. So I see right through this individual, and he'd done the most. But lately, and for the last few months, they had worked on a careful strategy, because I live 130 miles away from where all this took place, okay? But once he was called out on all that and told to leave me alone numerous times, right? And I never had the money to get legal assistance. I went to about 6 different law firms. They all wanted these big retainers, and I just did not have the money to get the assistance that I needed. And I couldn't find anyone to go to bat for me. I know that there's a lawyer out there that took my case pro bono, but he has never made himself known. What happened to him? He had all the evidence, the receipts, the documents, the information. He had everything. What happened to him? He never approached me. He never reached out to me. He never got in touch with me. And I'm here in Hemet, California, okay, in a mobile home, while these people have been living a high life on money that belonged to me. I was destined to have all of that. It was part of my life path, all right, not theirs. But anyway, this man worked with this, I think it was this, the female judge that lost her seat on the bench, who took a personal vengeance against me. She's also a Mason, I understand. They tried to scapegoat me. And she knew how to work with documents that are fraudulent documents, but they look real. They have the seals, they look very authentic. She presented those documents, making false reports against me, and put it in the system, and just kept putting it in the system. Different charges, different false claims. They all worked together. They conspired. There was a group of about 9 of them having these meetings, and they were conspiring against my life. It was a slow thing that they did, but they created, using forgery and digital technology, they did an imprint of my fingerprint somehow. I think there was a woman that lived, that was maybe dating my ex-husband. I don't know if she was involved at all. Was that woman, is that even her name? Is her name? No, that's not even her real name. She goes by another name altogether. But she was a plant there in my ex-husband's life. All right, so she had access to things in the house. She had been in my house. I was married for 23 years. So she probably found an old driver's license or an old signature or an old document nosing around. She find in a desk drawer somewhere. She used it. They all worked together to mimic my energy in the system. There was a family member that was involved in this as well, who they removed my name off of the original documents. That's my inheritance, my spiritual inheritance, my birthrights. You know, when you have a spiritual inheritance, your ancestral inheritance, you're entrusted. It's because of what your mission and purpose in life is. They messed with my life past, my destiny. They felt that they did not want me to see me rise, or to live the life that God had purposed for me. You can't just do that to someone. You didn't live my past lives. You know, I'm an ancient. All the 144,000 chosen and elect of God from the 12 tribes of Israel are here today on the earth because of prophetic things rolling out in our time. So they're all here, and I'm one of them. I'm a chosen one. So they took that information and created a duplicate, like a mimic, a copycat, tried to trick the universe, tried to trick the system, the legal system. So there were 2 identifications within the system. One is my energy signature, and I have already ascended into higher realms and dimensions. These people are not of the same energy signature as me. And nothing, there are keys that I hold that will only, I'm the only one that can unlock certain things, okay? This fake, phony person, this man, this perpetrator who coached other people when he had already gotten many other people in trouble 130 miles away. He came local where I live and got other people involved in committing fraud against me. So he had them agree to, they were having their meetup, their secret meetings, and they were trying to create pieces of information and build a case against me. It's all fraud, based on fraud, identity theft, false accusations in the system so that my name would come up because I'm because of my YouTube channel, North Star Ministry, because of my God's favor over my life and my blessings. The very jealous, insecure, envious, and greedy people got together. This man has a lot of issues, a lot of mommy issues, abandonment issues, sexual orientation issues. He's on the download. He's got AIDS. He never, but see, these people are of the low vibration that never look at themselves to work on themselves, but instead they're threatened and they're triggered by someone else's high vibration. You see, triggered by someone else's light signature. It bothered these people, and they took it too far, and they crossed boundaries and lines. This man took it too far. He did not like that he couldn't leech off my energy anymore. And I guess he was thinking that if he could just attach himself to me energetically through a digital signature in the system, that he could access the trust fund that belongs to me. They all plotted to steal from this trust fund, to trick the system. So they would see me as the false person, and him, or the woman that took my name off and place hers, as the true person. See how they were trying to fool the system? And they did this. It was very, very orchestrated, very strategic. They worked on this for months and months, following me, tracking me, illegal surveillance, monitoring devices, private investigators, listening methods. You know, I don't give anybody permission or consent to use my voice in any way, or to videotape me or copy my voice in any way. But they used all of that, and they worked with a corrupt lawyer who knew. And this lawyer, I believe, was somebody that knew that other lawyer that took my case pro bono at the Stanley Moss Courthouse. I don't know if it was the same one, but he was involved, all right? He did not want to see me receive what rightfully belongs to me by divine birthright. And these people stepped on God's toes. And at some point, God says, step aside, that I may consume them in a moment. Because when you interrupt God's plans for a person's life, these people had no business having my name in their mouth, ever. Never did I ever give anybody permission to speak on my behalf. Never did I give anybody permission to sign my signature. And there is a woman in an insane asylum. I don't know, she's got issues. If this woman is there under my name so that somebody else has a conservatorship over my name and receiving checks. But there was a cousin on my dad's side of the family that had been receiving money every month for years. I was supposed to receive my trust fund decades ago. It never happened because all these people got together and conspired against my life. And I have been made known numerous times by Archangel Michael and my protectors up in heaven and Yeshua to not be here tonight because these people are plotting against your life. This man hired hitmen to take me out numerous times. Okay, it all backfired. Every time it backfired because I'm spiritually protected by Almighty God. And he worked with a woman, a fake friend who wore a mask, who was all chummy with me, always pretending that she liked me, smiley face, all that. That mask has come completely off. This woman had gone along with it. They were all pretending. Okay, even a sister. Okay, sorry to say. It's really sad when your own family does something like this for money because they're jealous, because they don't want to see you have better. And they did this all under the fake, false betrayal of fake concern. Oh, I'm so concerned about her. Oh, I'm so concerned about, I'm worried about her. It's fake. A fake cover for the empathy, drawing on the empathy and sympathy of others. Okay? No, that's identity theft and fraud. Not once did anybody contact me or ask me, inform me, communicate with me, reach out to me at all, ever, about any of this. So today I was notified, I was once again told that these people, they created that digital fingerprint, imprint in the system, that they created it in order to try to divert the funds that should have come to me to them. Well, it will not happen that way. All along, they've been trying to block and delay, interfere, disrupt. They were constantly trying to block me from receiving my monetary gift, my blessings from Almighty God. So they were doing this consistently, like all the time. These people are real demonic, okay? this cult, this sex cult, and it is a sex cult. This CEO, he's part of that sex cult. They're all messed up and they're all sick. They're all sick with AIDS. Excuse me, these people need to be locked up. They're the ones with the mental issues, okay? I have a sound mind. God had appointed me and given me a mantle to fulfill at this particular time because of what he had placed within me from the very beginning, okay? Like I said, prophecy is being fulfilled in our day, but you can't pull the wool over someone's eyes who is anointed and has an unction with the Holy Spirit, okay? You can't do that. The Lord, it's all recorded. A cloud of witnesses in heaven, and that veil is very thin. And they don't take bribes up there, okay? It's all about truth. Truth prevails, all right? So these people have committed serious crimes against me. And Internal Affairs needs to go in and look at, where is my trust fund? Where is this bank? And why is it the court never reached out to me? And where is that lawyer that took my case pro bono? Where is he? Why has he not stepped forth? People have been threatened. People have been attacked spiritually because this group, they deal heavily with the occult. A lot of dark demonic practices, incantations. This woman had my name on a dark altar, speaking negativity over it, doing graveyard spells, sickness spells. They were doing numerous death spells, trying to get rid of me so that they could all keep their jobs, because all these professional people that crossed the line, that took money in order out of greed, they're outed. You know, the tax accountant, the doctor, the real estate agent, the insurance agent, the judge, the lawyer, all of them. They're all in trouble with God. It's judgment day. So truth prevails, like I said, and but the authorities need to know that there is a bank somewhere that's holding on to finances, and there are Masons in that bank that cut a deal with this man and agreed to not let me know about my trust fund. This man went to the extreme to make sure that I would never receive this money. He didn't want to see me rise. A fallen angel. You're talking about a fallen angel, okay, who is now banished from heaven. He's under severe judgment. He's been told by heaven above over and over and over again to stop, leave her alone, and he just wouldn't stop. So by now, this Hispanic judge, or this woman that this man is with, there's also a woman that he's with, like a girlfriend, I guess, who has been using my name also to access money from this trust fund. I want names of everybody so I can get my justice in a court of law. And I want a reputable man of integrity, legal assistance from people of integrity to come to my aid and assist me in locating where this information is, so I can get my justice and move forward. Because I have spiritual assignments on behalf of Almighty God to fulfill, okay? And I rise up. I am the elected person at this particular time, and people can't stand that fact. People that have known me all my life, you know, they think that can't be, that's not possible. And you know what? I'm here in plain sight, and people they don't need to like it, but it is altogether God's doing and not man's. Nobody in their right mind would ever, I'm going to tell you this right now, nobody in their right mind would ever, on purpose, make themselves a prophet, okay? That's not what this is about. When God calls you, you answer the call, okay? And that's what this is about. So I just want to put this out there. This man created an energy signature, and today I was alerted how he got the whole community. They wanted, because all the spell work backfired, all the death spells, all the sickness spells, all the binding my finances, but everything that they did to me, everything backfired on these people. Well, they're receiving their towers now, and it will continue to backfire. You know, they've attacked me and my sons so terribly for years and stalked nonstop, hiring flying monkeys. But anyway, they planned on, and today was the day that they had in mind, this plot. They had devised a whole orchestrated plot, plan, and scheme to approach me in the physical, be right in my face, where I live, in my mobile home community, okay? He'd gotten out there and convinced other mobile home people that live there, spread lies and slander on my name to get them against me. You know, people that have never even asked me, you know, and so they just assumed and jumped on the hate bandwagon because my light triggers many people, I tell you. But went out and decided they wanted to try to elicit a response, a reaction. And this is a tactic of these people in these secret societies. They try to get you upset and angry and elicit a response so that you can react, so that they can say, see, you know, and because they have already tried to discredit me, lying on my name. They said that I was a sex worker. They said that, and he had a videographer that actually cut and pasted, because they hacked my computer and everything, all my photos from when I raised my children, my marriage, all my social media pages. They got in there and created fake pages and were sending, he was pretending to be me, sending texts, or maybe it was his girlfriend that did this. He hired people to do different things, and they kept up this level of harassment in a variety of ways using my identity. And they used my social media pages, went out to all the people that I knew since childhood and from high school and all of that, and created false, fabricated information to slander my name and discredit me, destroy my reputation. That's what this man had done. I worked there for 14 years, and I rejected this person when I worked there. He didn't even believe in God. I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer. It's like you have to be equally yoked at least, you know. But no, I had a boyfriend who had passed away. I hope they didn't have anything to do with it. But I had a boyfriend before my marriage of 23 years, and Roberto and I dated for about 7 years. And so, but during that time, you know, I was very happy, and this man was unwanted. You know, kind of like just doing things, okay? Anyway, I said no, and when I discovered that he had been stalking me, oh, I cut him off right away. I didn't know that 5 years ago. I didn't know there was an opening at that company. At that time, I still didn't know he was a narcissist. I didn't know that he had been slandering my name. I had no idea. It all came together, though. Once God had begun to really let me know the truth of everything that had been going on behind my back by so many people I knew that got paid to lie on my name in court. Wow. He made sure that I never received a single letter from the court about the case. I drove twice. I spent 2 whole days at the Stanley Mosque courthouse 2 different times to try to locate this case. But they don't go by your social security number. They go by the case number. Well, I didn't have a case number. And then they changed things out on the document so I wouldn't be able to find it. Everybody was quiet about it, okay? So I'm just saying, today was the day they were planning on being all up in my face with some corrupt cops. They wanted on hand. They were trying to have me arrested for all the fake charges that they put in the system about me. It's all fabricated. They made it all up. It's all fraudulent documents, forged signatures. There's a document there that says that I signed and waived my rights to my assets and my ancestral inheritance. No, I did not. I never did that. These people committed fraud, and they all need to go to jail for their crimes. Every one of them. They lied on my name. And it was based out of greed, and the Lord let me know it was heavily based out of their own insecurities and jealousy. They were envious of God's favor over my life. And that's the bottom line. Isn't that sad? Sad state of affairs when, you know, people don't work on themselves. And rather than look at themselves and question, you know, why do I feel this way? Why would a person feel a certain way when you have good news coming from heaven above? Why would it trigger so many people? Why would they not be happy for you? and not celebrate with you, you know. But that wasn't the case. These people stole, and that ancestral inheritance belongs to me. I am the rightful heir, and I claim all of my birthright and blessings. I put this out there for the legal authorities and the upright, wherever you are, if you're listening to me, if Internal Affairs is listening to me, I pray that you look into these matters, and please don't keep it to yourself. Please reach out to me. Not one court-appointed official in the upright has ever reached out to me. Not one person of integrity. And where's that lawyer? I hope that he reaches out to me. You know, I'd like to get my justice. I would like to see all the transcripts. Everybody that lied on my name and got paid in court, I'd like to know. You know, there's a certain amount of closure I want to receive. So if you're out there and you have information, please don't sit on that information. Reach out to me. I am in Hemet, California. My phone number has been the same phone number for years and years. It's even on my vehicle. And while I'm at it, it's even on my vehicle because of my Italian ice business. This man stole all my intellectual property, repackaged it, took credit for my work, my creativity, along with other people, created businesses and profited off of what belonged to me. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but there it is. You see? West Coast Polar Ice. That was my little Italian ice cart business down at the beach. I got each of my boys an Italian ice cart. We had a little contract down there at the beach. And when I couldn't find full-time employment, I decided, well, I guess I'll just do this then for a while when I went through my divorce, you know, because I needed to have some extra income. These people messed with my income. It messed with my compressor. It was a top-of-the-line cart, too. I got it fixed finally. But, you know, they did the most. The plate was missing overnight. Somebody had removed the plate, monkeyed around with my compressor, and for the next season, when I took it in to get it inspected and stickered by the health department, getting ready for the new season, I went to plug it in, and I heard a zzz, and it was smoking and almost caught fire. I thought, what the heck? What happened? You know. So, and I couldn't find anybody to come and look at it. So it took a while. I lost my spot at the beach for that reason. And also, I was in line. When I finally did find someone to come, I had to wait like 8-9 months before they were able. I was on a waiting list till they could come and finally fix it. So I'm just saying, these people did the most to bind my finances, so I could never get the assistance, the legal assistance that I needed for my defense, for my protection, for my justice, okay? But God handles everything. I surrender the whole matter to Him. And I know that it's all working out. All things work out for good to those who are in Christ Jesus. So I will continue to always believe. And that's a very important thing I want to say. Never give up and never stop believing. I would never allow ever for a low vibrational toxic entity or being, this parasitic leech that had been leeching off my energy for all these years and making money off of me. He even had cameras put in my home where he wanted to capture me in vulnerable position so he could put it on the dark web and exploit me. He did that too. I want my justice, and I will press full charges against this individual. Okay, he's not allowed anywhere near me, but he continuously tries to, he's got a whole practiced performance that he wants to stage right here where I live. And they're all working together to pull this off. They want to embarrass me. It's one of their humiliation spells, as though he hasn't done enough. Really. So he had to find fresh new people that were willing to be manipulated by him, that hadn't heard all his lies, that didn't know that he had been a liar. And so he got them all on board to do this new thing. So they were planning to do that today, and I want the authorities to know. My name pops up in the system because of this man and all the fraud they committed under my name. Okay, so, and it's involving this judge. They had tried to scapegoat me. I don't know if that was the same woman that was in an accident, but when she was in an accident, the Lord had let me know someone was in an accident, and they were found with all kinds of illegal substances. They had planned to use that to plant on me. I've never done any of that like in all my life, not even in high school. So I am not a toxic person at all. But these people are very toxic. And one of the things that these Masons do is they project their toxicity. Listen carefully when you question these people, because they project everything they do, their lifestyle, their how they live, all of their all their problems and issues. Okay, they project it onto innocent people because they try to transfer energy. And that's what this man had done by creating a digital imprint of my energy signature. Using my emotional signature, he was trying to piggyback off my energy once again. He wanted me to be linked to me energetically so he could continue to steal. I think he was thinking that by doing this, he would escape his karma and his judgment. But no, he's got to reap what he has sown. He did a lot to me, and I want my justice. So I'm putting this out there. If anybody has information, you know where to call me now, okay? It's out there. I'm a very transparent person, so I put it out there, and I hope that somebody will reach out to me and let me know where this stands at this time and how I can get my justice. Okay, I thank you. Thank you for listening. God bless. Bye.